Okay, now that I've explained how all the different components work, I might kind of give you a quick rundown on what to do when your pool's just finished filling up. So first you want to do, and I can't show you from this angle, but you want to make sure that the water level is about halfway up the skimmer line. You'll be able to tell basically there's a door in there, and when that door starts to flap or when it lifts up, that's kind of an indication that you've got it at the right height. If it's low, if you ever end up and it's low, it'll suck air in, and then it won't filter properly. So it can be high. If you get a lot of rain and the water's above the skimmer, that's fine. You don't have to drain it. You don't have to. You might drain it just for the sake of allowing the skimmer to do what it does, which is skim. You do that by getting the kids into the pool and pushing the water out that way. You don't have to actually, run out to the house or to the pool and drain it down to halfway. So let's say the water level's halfway up the skimmer. Again, this is a hydromatic skimmer, so the water's going to flow down into the pump and back to the pool. As I mentioned in prior videos, make sure all the gate valves are open. If they're not, and the water, turn the pump on, it's like putting your thumb on top of a straw. It's going to stop it and suffocate it and probably snap the hoses off of the pump. So make sure that they're shut, or they're open rather. And then as the two-speed pump works, make sure that you have a dedicated 115 outlet. I know a lot of times when people put a pool in, they're waiting for the electrician to come in. They run it on an extension cord. They say, I'm going to get one soon. It's very important that you get it because it will die if it's run on an extension cord for any extended period of time. So make sure you get that dedicated electric source, and you can plug your water care system into that, or your light or something else, but you just want it to be dedicated. So then I turn on the pump. That's the low speed, and that's the high speed. Water's flowing from the skimmer into the pump. The head of the pump, you'll see the water in there. Gravity will basically cause the pump to prime. In an in-ground pool, it works a little differently. You have to prime. If you ever hear somebody say, I got to prime the pump, it's because you're sucking it from a lower level up. But with gravity and an above ground, it'll prime. And another common question I always hear is I've got air in air bubbles in here. That does not matter. If it's dry, then you might have to question whether or not something's wrong. But if you just see a couple air pockets on the lid, that they'll either work their way out or they'll be fine there. So as the water flows in there, there's also a secondary air lint trap that catches debris that may have somehow made its way through the filter. Let's say you ran the filter without the basket for a period of time. Take that out. The water flows through. Check your pressure gauge right now and see where it reads. I know you can't see it from here, but the pressure gauge on a cartridge filter is right here. On a sand filter, it would be somewhere around the side. On a low speed, it's going to be nearly 1 psi or 0. So that's not uncommon. That just means that there's very little pressure because it's running on a low speed. When you run it on high speed, this one is at 10 psi. If you get to 20, that's an indication that it's time to turn the pump off, take the filter out, wash it off with a garden hose. High pressure garden hose is adequate, and then put it back in. And these filters will last you probably a year, maybe 2 if you're good, or if you don't have a lot of debris, but we usually recommend either replacing it once a year or at the very least buying a second one so that you can exchange them. Take one out, clean it while the other one's doing its job. Water flows through the filter as we explained in prior videos, and you get to the water care system. The system is not gone over yet is, again, I'm going to shut these gate valves and just show you how to take this off. There's a lock right here. So you push down on the lock, and you spin this. And I know I might get wet. And by the way, there's a bleeder. I forgot to mention this too. I open this bleeder, and that'll cut off the pressure. It'll also make it easier for me to do what I'm doing. And then I'll take it out. Look at that. This is pollen season, so you can see there's a lot of pollen caught onto this filter right now. So hopefully later on we'll take it out and clean it off and put it back in. I'm going to move on with the video. So I'll close it again, and don't over tighten it. The locking mechanism will snap when it's tight. So listen for the snap. There you go. Tighten the bleeder valve again, and I cut it back on. For the operation of the filtration equipment, that's pretty much the gist of it. Again, I got another video we're going to do. We'll go over the water care. So that's it for now. Thanks. Sorry, I forgot one very important part. That is to make sure you open the gate valves back up after you took your filter out so that the water can flow. You'll find, again, if you don't feel the water flowing through, there's a problem somewhere. So that's always a good rule of thumb to remember, to make sure the water's flowing through it. Whether it's at low speed or high speed, it should be pushing water out.